そら書けねえか。BGM かけとこうと思ったね。じゃあしょうがない。はい、ということでね、NESmakerってご存知ですか？お茶入れるか。ソフトウェアはこんな感じなんだけど、これね、でかっ。で、ハードがあるんだけど、ちょっと部屋汚いから映せないんだけどさ、USB とフラッシュカートリッジと、あとまあフラッシュカートリッジ書き込むための本体があるんだけど、フラッシュカートリッジが結構ね、あんま出来良くないらしいんだよね。おー、ちゃんとラッピングしてあんな。ステッカーもついてる。無地のステッカーついてる。なんだこれ。音は鳴ってないね。でもこっち USB ちっちゃくねえ、短すぎねえか。このタイプ、これ開けるしかねえな。開かないです。おお、本体は NES をモチーフにした形なんだけど、勝手えなコネクタ。開くの？開くじゃん。開くじゃんっていうか、開けちゃっていいのかな。開ける。蓋は開くんだ。へえ。結構作り雑っちゃ雑だな。でも基板自体は問題ねえか。そしたらカートリッジの方だな。これを
タイミングを。
はい。一コメさんありがとうございます。延長して載せると。でね。
延長しました。150分延長しました。
輸出とテストってなんだこれ。ミスティックサーチャーズ。これ英語にならねえのかな。新規アゼキセエクゼスティング
和骨何が始まるんです。
はい、3個目さんありがとうございます。ベースモードNESmakerっていうのをキックスターターでファミコンゲームがね、ファミコンが NES なんだけどを手軽に言ったら変だけど、今あるファミコン制作ツールよりはお手軽に作れるらしいというところで、キックスターターに投資して、それが先月届いたんだけど、これどうしよっかな。フラッシャーも挿しとくか。どっちだろうこれ。
た第一言語のニモ。
そう、ニモさ、ニモじゃないよ。これでデバイスなんかちゃんと出るか。あ、これか。待って、もう一回。あれ、これドライバー勝手に入るんじゃないの？プロジェクト情報うわー、ちょっともう一回ネスメーカーの使い方がまず分かってねえかんな。メイクカーとテストラストエクスポート。エクスポートが出力だよね。インポートが入力というか。
ネスメーカー？
ネスメーカーです。申告さんありがとうございます。ドライバーが長いじゃん、ドライバーが。一回起動し直すか。ヘルプ。アップデートは OK。ヘルプ翻訳まあつないであるけどデバイスマネージャーでハテナマークが出てんな。これは何だろうINL レトロクログ。
そのソフトに何億円出資したの？
何億円出資してないよ。
10億万円。
10億じゃないよ。これか。 あれネスメーカーいいけどドライバーがねえじゃん、ドライバー。ヘルプはちむさんありがとうございます。ワッパー30ってなんだろう。ニューここじゃない、こっちか。新規ロード保存、別名で保存、エキスポート。情報。
ドライバーはワコムのサイトからダウンロードできるよ。
ワコムっすか。それペンタブじゃないのかな。今ネスメーカーのさヘルプ読んでるんだけど、
ワコムとかわらわらリアルテックだよ。メガドライブ用のすぐ読で何かできるかなと思ったけど素人の俺にはできなかったわこ。
はい、皆さんありがとうございます。ナイスカさんで SDK でなんか作れそうな気もするんだけど、でもどうかな。ナイスさんはあれかね、ソフトウェアよりもハードウェアいじるのが得意そう。活動なんだけどさ、ハードウェア自体は。
ソフトよりハードが好きですね。
やっぱそんな感じだよね。インフィニトネスライブスの最新のフラッシュアウトドライバーが機能することが必要。ドライバーはどこにあるの？ドライバーは。ドライバーインストール、これか。あれドライバーこれフラッシュの中に入ってんじゃないの？ホームブローン売ってんな。NESmakerツールズ。チュートリアルはいいんだけど、とりあえずこれをレモンフラッシャーに焼いてみたい。トロールバーナーのデモ版か。 あ、ゲームネスってあんの？ラッシャーにやるとか。あ、ドライバーあんじゃん。じゃあネスメーカーのフォルダから探せばいいか。エミュレーター。ドライバーを当てなきゃダメか。あれ、なんでなんで米弁になってんだよ。危ねえ、なんか変なもんが映ってたらどうしようと思った。ネスメーカードライバーでもう一回ググってみるか。日本人でやってる人いないのかな。
あえて出してるのかと思ってた。
出してないネスメーカーはそうなんだけどさ、ちなみに$256ね。結構かかったよな。2年ぐらいかかったんじゃないかな、出荷されるまで。あ、2年かね、1年ぐらいか。ドライバーがチュートリアル見た方がいいかな。チュートリアル、スターティングプロジェクト。それ見ながらいくか。
Welcome to the first tutorial for NESmaker 4.1.0. We know you have this profound dream of making Super Mario 3 meets Ninja Gaiden meets Rad Racer that makes use of the power pad and the power glove, but slow down. Your experience level probably does not match your ambition. We must start this quest at the beginning and grind our way. This tutorial assumes that you've downloaded NESmaker 4.1.0 from the site thenewheroes.com and that you've got your activation code in your email. If you haven't done that, you can go to the site and get those two things. And when you extract the zip file for NESmaker, extract it to your desktop. It's always a good idea because if you put it inside, and go ahead and open up the folder and open NESmaker 4.1.0. And once you've activated it, you should see something like this. So getting started, let's talk a little bit about what you're seeing on the screen right now. It's basically split into three parts. You've got your menu, your menu bar with your menus. You've also got what we call the hierarchy, and this is all the stuff that your game will be comprised of. Your sounds, your graphics, your text, your scripts, your inputs, all the things that make up your game that are editable are here. And in this workspace, when you actually click on one of these things, if I click on the world, a dialog box with that information where I can actually edit the properties of that thing shows up in this workspace area. So for instance, if I look at a player game object, the stuff that makes up the player game object shows up. Palette, if I looked at the palette information shows up here in the workspace. So if I'm talking about the hierarchy, I'm talking about this over here. If I'm talking about the workspace or dialog box, I'm talking about what shows up over here. And if I'm talking about the menu bar or the toolbar, I'm talking about what's here at the top of the screen. Easy, just like most software that you probably use. In fact, if you use programs like GameMaker, Unity, RPG Maker, this should look vaguely familiar to you, the way it's set up now.
Okay, so now we've got something that we're really proud of and we're really excited to share with the world. So for this last tutorial here, we're going to look at how to get it onto the cartridge, which is pretty simple. So if you're watching this, you've probably gotten or know where to get a Kazo flasher with like what's inside.
これピカピカだけどさ、実際はプラなんだよね。
Ours is in this nice nifty case, but
これとこれが今うちにある。
They also will get you the type of cartridge you need with the right mapper that you need. You'll see it. It says NESmaker right there. You can actually order flasher, cartridges, refills. Okay. First thing you're going to do is plug this bad boy in and install the drivers. So come on over here by the computer real quick. I'll show you where the drivers are. Inside your NESmaker folder, you're going to see a folder called Flasher. You see that? Okay, we're going to double click.
フラッシャーね。メーカー、フラッシャー。ああ、やっぱこれか。こっからドライバー入れるんだ。
On that, and you're going to see the Kazo Flasher driver package. And here are your drivers that you are going to install for the Flasher. Easy. Once the drivers are installed, I'm going to step out. We are in the program. I'm going to make some changes to this so you can see it.
インストールするのは簡単だってこと。これか。あ、で、ちょっと待って、もう一回。
You can see it real time. We are in the program. We're going to install driver package. And here are your drivers that you are going to install.
あれ少なくね。これエグゼじゃない気がするんだけど。あ、インストールドライバーこれか。これでいいのか。これでいいのかな。インストラクションテキストがあった。読めない。あ、でもデバイスドライバーカレントインストーラーって書いてあるからこれか。多分動画の方だと何をクリックしてんだこれ。SFX？ あ、これか。あ、これセブンジップのか。なんでセブンジップなんだよ。インストーラーでいいんだよね。これだよね、これ。
Easy. Once the drivers are installed, I'm going to step out.
これで入れるのか。じゃあちょっと一回またNESmaker閉じて、もしかしたら再起動必要かもしれない。インストール、管理者実行。あ、一発でいけた。なんで Win32 なの ?64 ビットあるじゃん。手動でやんなきゃダメってこと？デバイスドライブどうなってる？デバイスマネージャー。あ、ちゃんと OK。OK だけど32ビットなんだけど64ビットのは手動で入れようってこと？こ これをちょっとあれだな。クリックしてみるか。ああ、いいのかいいのか。うん。OK、これで、もう一回デバイスマネージャー見て、書いてるね。うん。そして、これでフラッシャーに書き込めることができる。NESmaker起動。
In the program, I'm going to make some changes to this so you can see it in real time. Actually, let me make it say. Let's do something. Let's have it say.
ツールの使い方から覚えなきゃいけないっていうのはちょっと、まあしょうがないけど、当たり前だけどさ、当たり前だけど。
So now I have something I'm super proud of. Let me test it real quick. I'm going to export and test, play it in the emulator, make sure that it works okay. And it does. There we go. Okay, so now all I need to do to get it to a cartridge, I'm going to put my cartridge on the flasher. Now these are Mapper 30 cartridges. If you just grabbed any old cartridge, it's not going to work. Make sure you're getting a Mapper 30 cartridge from NES Live. It's meant to work with NESmaker. And then I'm going to press this button right here. Obviously, I have it plugged into my USB, plugged into the computer. I'm going to press the
Make cart.
And what it's going to do is first it's going to look exactly like it does when it runs in the emulator. That's compiling it, that's assembling it. Press any key, and you should start to see it say setting operation start flash. If you see that and you're getting the blinky light, that means it's working right now. It is taking all the data and it is taking it from the NESmaker file and over the USB cable onto the cartridge. And depending on the speed of your computer, it might take a different amount of time. It takes about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. We are done. Then I can pop out the cartridge. I can come over to a NES or a hardware anything that's hardware based.
NES ってこうやって挿すの?
And pop it in, press the power button, and bam.
ちょっと待って、NES ちょっと待って、NES って何？ああいう風に挿すの？上にガチャって挿すんじゃないの？
So that's how to get started with NESmaker in I can't even remember how 20 steps.
何パカって開くんだ。どうだ、すごいだろう。今サクッと作った NES のゲームがこんな簡単に起動したぜ。アメージング、素晴らしいじゃないか。
こうなってたんすね。
こうなってたんだよ。初めて知った。ファミコンと同じでさ、上からガチャって刺すもんだと思ったわ。何あれ、あそこ蓋開けて、あそこにそう、コーヒー入れようと思って全然入れてねえな。14年コンペさんありがとうございます。初めて知った。あれはSNES もそうなのかな。
関連動画、
関連動画プロレス多いんだけどちょっっとこれいいね。
Welcome to the first tutorial for NESmaker 4.1.0. We know you have this profound dream of making Super Mario 3 meets Ninja Gaiden meets Rad Racer that makes use of the Power Pad and the Power Glove, but slow down. Your experience level probably does not match your ambition. We must start this quest at the beginning and grind our way up. This tutorial assumes that you have downloaded NESmaker 4.1.0 from the site thenewHeroes.com and that you've got your activation code in your email.
音声入力が今当たり前になってるからさ、動画にしろ何しろ流れてる音声を
extract it to your desktop. It's always a good idea because if you put it inside a folder, those folders can sometimes be behind
自分に分かる言語に
privileges,
直
and
接
then some of the software won't
変えて
actually
くれ
work
るってい
correctly.
う
So extract it to your desktop for
そういうデバイス
starters,
作ってみ
and
よう
go
か
ahead
な。
and open up the
あれは
folder.
ソフトウェア。そろそろそういう時期があってもいいね。だからもう完全に翻訳こんにゃく作れるよね。
And once you've activated it, you should see something like this. So getting started, let's talk a little bit about what you're seeing on the screen right now. It's basically split into three parts. You've got your menu, your menu bar. With your menus. You've also got what we call the hierarchy, and this is all the stuff that your game will be comprised of. Your sounds, your graphics, your text, your scripts, your inputs, all the things that make up your game that are editable are here. And in this workspace, when you actually click on one of these things, if I click on the overworld, a dialog box with that information where I can actually edit the properties of that thing shows up in this workspace area. So for instance, if I looked at a player game object, the stuff that makes up the player game object shows up over here. If I looked at a palette, the palette information shows up here in the workspace. So if I'm talking about the hierarchy, I'm talking about this over here. If I'm talking about the workspace or a dialog box, I'm talking about what shows up over here. And if I'm talking about the menu bar or the toolbar, I'm talking about what's
ああ、したらあれだったね。
just like most
まだ届いてないんだよ。
In fact, if you use programs like GameMaker, Unity, RPG Maker, this should look vaguely familiar to you the way it's set up now because the NES constraints, it functions a little bit differently, but it should look somewhat familiar. So let's jump right in and start a new project. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to go to File, or you can hit the New button here on the toolbar, and we're going to create a blank file set, and we're going to call it My Test Game. The starting module that we're going to use is the base module, and we're going to hit OK. Now let's talk about what that just did. The first thing that it did was, if I look at my graphic assets folder, you're going to see that I've got a My Test Game folder there. I've also got some other cleverly titled folders, such as My Dumb First Game Thing and UGG, as well as you'll see the tutorial games up here. This folder contains all the graphics that this game will use. And now when you activate any of the graphic icons over here, it's going to reference these files that are in this new folder that you just made, and you don't really have to think about that too much, just to be aware of it. The other thing that it did was, if I go into project settings and I go to script settings, it loaded all of the necessary scripts to run a base module game. So this is where you'd actually get in and edit what things do. For instance, here's all your tile collisions. If I want to change what tile collision do, I can click on one of these and choose, okay, tile 0 does this thing. We're not even going to talk about that yet. Don't have to worry about scripts, you don't have to worry about scripting, you don't have to worry about programming language, nothing like that. I just wanted you to be aware of what's happening when you choose that base module. So I'm going to close this project settings. I'm going to return to this the home here. And now the last thing I'm going to do to set up this new game is I'm going to download emulator. I recommend using Messen, M-E-S-E-N. You can search for that on Google and download the latest version. And we're going to set this project to open with Messen. Now, if I go ahead and export and test the game right now, it will work. It will compile. Hello, everybody. It is Joe emulator. But right now, it's going to open in our emulator, the emulator that comes with the tool, the Mystic Search emulator that developer Shiru made for our project a long time ago. The problem with this emulator was it was never meant to be a comprehensive emulator. It was mostly meant to be like a spot checker. And so it doesn't have a lot of the cool debugging features that an emulator like Messen has. And Messen is also a lot more accurate. This was never meant to be that. Shiru did an amazing job in cracking this out for us, but it was never meant to serve the purpose for what NESmaker has become. So what I'd recommend doing is downloading an emulator. FCEUX or Messen are the ones I would suggest. And you can go to your project settings, which is this little gear icon right here, and you can go to emulator. And now I can actually navigate to that emulator. So let me do that real quick. I'm going to say, okay, what emulator do I want to use? I'm going to go to Mine is in NES stuff. In Messin. I don't know where you've saved yours, but you get the idea. Navigate to the emulator application that you want to use, and then you have to go to your working folder. So navigate to your actual project, the project that we are just creating right now. Mine is in NESmaker 4.10. It's inside Game Engine Data, and it's game.nes. And now I'm set up so when I run it, let me do this again.
Ah, そういうことか、そういうことか。
Now when I run the game, instead of opening in the Mystic Searches emulator, it's opening in Messin, and I can see I've got a lot of cool tools, debuggers. One of the cool things we're going to look at is the picture processing unit, which shows what sprites are loaded, what graphics are loaded, what palettes are loaded, things like that. So super cool. That's how we get started in creating a new project. The last thing, I'm going to file, save as. And I put usually my projects in my projects folder, so I'm going to call this, you know, whatever I want to call it, my first game, let's call it that, and I'm going to hit save. And so now you can see that it's called my first game, and now just by hitting save, we'll update that save. So that's how we get started creating a project, and next we're going to look at how to start building graphics and importing graphics for our game.
奥で偽筋肉ゴールドとか出してる人と取引したから特定できたよ。
特定したんだ。次。今のチュートリアル。
In this video, we're going to take a look at In this video, we're going to take a look at the pixel editor and how to start working with graphics. But before we start working with graphics, I want to begin to explain a little bit about how NES handles graphics. First, we want to talk about backgrounds, and we talk about sprites, and we want to talk about palettes and sub-palettes. In order to talk about these abstract concepts, I'm going to open up a screen, a paused screen from Mystic Origins. This is the first screen from the first NES game that I ever built, and I'm still working on its proper game, Mystic Searches, which is the magnum opus that started this whole project. So if I hit Control P in Messin, it brings up the picture processing unit.
NES ファイルはさすがに
And what I see right now is I see basically all the data that is loaded to the name tables. That's the actual thing I see on screen. So this is the name table I'm seeing right now in the game. So this is the game itself, and this is what I'm actually seeing. This is actually what happens if you go to the menu bar at Mystic Origins. These are the graphics that are loaded in. In fact, these tiles change because the character data changes when you go there, but you can kind of see the layout here. Let's take a look at a couple of things that are important. Okay, these are the graphics that are loaded. This is the space that you get for your sprites, and this is the space you get for your background for any given screen. So what we've done with NESmaker is we have split this up into basically an area for character object data, game object data, and an area for monster data. And in NESmaker, unlike this, it actually splits it right in half. So with this, with Mystic Origins, it was actually split where this is all the character, and then your power-ups and things like that were down here. Now those are combined in the first half, and monsters and NPCs and things like that are in the second half. And this is all the tile data for your screen. So you notice we always have HUD data loaded. We also have path data loaded, which is how we made these sort of complex. Hello, everybody! It is using minimal graphics, and then you have graphics that are loaded on a screen-by-screen basis. This is a full tile set, and these two rows right here are a screen-specific tile set. But before we talk about that, let's take a look at the palette viewer. This is the hardest thing to sort of understand about NES when you first start to work with it. When you create art assets for the NES, unlike a game today you make a bitmap and you put it in your game, and you have a graphic for your game. and you're saving the color information with that bitmap, but NES doesn't work like that. It's just reading a bunch of values. It's just reading a bunch of digits and then expressing those on the screen. It's pushing those through these palettes that are currently, these are the palettes that are currently loaded. You can see them in the screen right now. So these first 4 rows here are my background tile palettes, and these last 4 rows are for my sprites. And it's pretty easy to see. Sub-palette, these 4 colors right here. And these stone features use this feature right here. And the water uses this sub-palette right here. And my HUD uses this sub-palette right here. Whereas my player uses this sub-palette here, and then this guy uses this one here, and this guy uses this one here. You can kind of see what's going on. And so what you'll notice is that the NES graphics, you can only have 3 colors plus a transparent color for a single 8x8 tile area. You can only have 3 colors plus a transparent color, which will be completely invisible for a sprite, for a
まあ、ファミコンとかデスゲームがね、簡単にというか、フラッシュカートリッジ付きでのバージョンに投資して先月届きました。だけど、NESmakerはソフトなんだけど、ソフトの使い方がさっぱり分かってない。で、フラッシュカートリッジもあるんだけどさ、それにそれとはまあ、その手出したのはまた別なんだけど、これで作ってね、フラッシュカートリッジで。
So I'm going to go to palettes, and where it says palette groups, I'm going to create a palette group. I'm going to right click on palette groups, and that's going to bring up something user palette group. If I right click on that, I can rename it, and I'll just call it my pals 1, you know, my first palettes or whatever. All right, and if this was a grassland, I could call it grassland palettes, and if it was you know, underworld, I could call underworld palettes. Now I'm going to open up all palettes, and here's all of my palettes that I can use for this game. I'm going to click on the first one, and I could actually make some edits right here. I'm going to
どうだろうね。日本だとあんまりNESmaker盛り上がってないんだよね。
Let's make this gray there, gray and
もうできる人はやっちゃって、あのさ、そうそうそう、できる人はもうやって、売ってたりするじゃん。その間をこれからやってみたい人ともうできる人の間がないんだよね。まあググればさ、そのやってみたいから自分で調べてできるようになるところまではいけるんだけど。
And you can see my palette shows up right here. So this is the pixel editor. This is where you can create graphics. There's a lot of ways that we can start working with graphics. We can draw graphics. We can bring in external graphics from other, you know, from something we made in Photoshop or GIMP or even Microsoft Paint. And let's take a look at all those things. Let's start with a new blank canvas. If I went to pixel editor, new BMP, and made like a 16 by 16 tile, you'll almost never do it this way, but let me show it to you just in case. So what I've just made is I've made a 16 pixel by 16 pixel tile.
いらなくはないけど、
click on show pixel grid. Now I can actually see the pixels. And now I can start using common drawing tools to create a sprite. So like if I want to make a happy face, I'm going to make a happy face. I have to choose a color or a color over here. I'm going to pick this gray color, and we're going to see something strange happens.
まあパレットのさ、
プログラミング不要で誰でも簡単にファミコンのゲームが作成可能なNESmaker。
そう、NESmaker。そうなんだよね。
Okay. Well, remember when I showed you in Messin, I showed you the Mystic Origins, and there was 3 colors. We need to force the graphics to be 3 colors. So the way that NESmaker handles it is, it makes a file. It's a black, red, green, blue file. It's a black, red, green, blue bitmap file. So what colors you want to conform it to that. And that will tell that will give NESmaker the value.
まあツールに慣れちゃえばね、簡単なんじゃないかな。
0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. All right. And then what happens is these values get pushed through the palette that's loaded. So red is going to become gray. And green is going to become yellow, and blue is going to become purple, because those are the colors I have loaded. And if I want to see what it would actually look like in game if I had that this palette loaded, I can go to Enable Palette Translation Mode, and now it's gray. And you can see that my colors up here have changed. Now I can actually draw with these colors. Now, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Don't forget, this is still drawing a black, red, green, blue bitmap file. The only way it's going to show up these colors is if this palette happens to be loaded at that given time. But what happens, for instance, if I have a second palette? So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to make a new palette. And I'm going to call, and I can name these palettes too. Oops. It just asked me to save that graphic because it was a new graphic. If I made a new palette, and I made it teal and orange and purple, and I can right click and rename these two. Palette TRB for teal, red, and purple. And I can actually drag that into my palettes as well. Now let me go back to my pixel editor, and if you ever have this happen, if it stretches out, all we have to do is hit the force square aspect ratio.
So NESmaker
that square aspect ratio.
フラッシュカートリッジの動作確認をしようかなと思ったんだけど。
It's going to look gray and yellow, and let me make some hair that's purple. Awesome. But what happens if I have
モジュール入ってねえかな。
Now it's going to push it through these colors. So again, when you're making that,
まあ焼いたところでさ、コンバーターがまだ来てないから、実際に焼かれてるかどうか、書き込みされてるかどうかの確認はできないんだけど。
Okay, so that's a little bit of an explanation about how colors are working and how this black, red, green, blue mode is actually working. This is actually what you're going to see when you're making tiles. You're almost never, like I said, going to go to Pixel Editor and new BMP. You're going to work with existing tile sets and existing graphics, even if you're creating from scratch. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to save this at all. I'm going to open up my background CHR00. This is the tile set for my first background graphics. I'm going to open that up. And now, I can see I've got a little
ヒーザも買ってるんだ。
as I was opening that, so I'm
一緒になんか作りましょうか。
let's pretend I'm going to make a grassland.
一応チュートリアルが入ってんだな。
I'll do that later. I'm going to rename that grassland, and I'm going to change the colors, and I can change them here too. I'm going to get like a green, and I'm going to get a dark green, and I'm going to get a brown color, and this is good for grass, and it's good for trees, and it's good for bushes. So it's going to serve a lot of needs for my this first Now I can actually do a lot of things. First of all, I can look at grid in 8x8 tiles. Now, objects are usually made up of 8x8 tiles. Tile sets, assets are made up of 16x16 tiles. So I can look at either or both of those grids, and I can toggle them off really easily. And again, if I want to see the actual pixels, I can see the actual pixels. I can zoom in, I can zoom out. And I've got my standard drawing tools. And I'm just going to make this really easy. I'm going to zoom in once, and I'm going to scroll to the top left corner, and I want to create just grass. And there's two ways that I can do this. I can either get the rectangle tool, choose my green color, and I want to actually see the color that I'm painting, so I'm going to enable palette translation, and I can click and drag and make a rectangle. That's one way I can do it. I'm going to hit Control Z, or I could use this tile fill tool, not the first bucket but the second bucket, and that will actually fill all of a similar color for whatever I click on within that tile. So that's the other way that I could do it, and that's make sure that it's actually just staying within the tile. So this is going to be a grass tile. I'm going to turn off my pixel grid, and I could dot it with a couple of dark spots just to give it a little character, like that. And great, so I'm going to hit save, and now that has saved over the top of my first tile sets bitmap. So if I go to load file again, take a look, there it is. And remember, it's creating a black, red, green, blue file, not a green file. The green is because of the palette. It's going to push those values to the palette. And we can see, there it is. It's that red corner. Okay, so that's how I could make a graphic. Now let's look how I can import a graphic. Let's pretend that you make a graphic outside of here. and you wanted to open it up and then paste it into this tile set.
I've got
some graphics already for you. If you go to load BMP file, if you go to your NESmaker folder and you go to tutorial assets, if you go back to the from beta and you go to graphics, you're going to see a tree graphic. Let's load that in. Okay, so now we have to select this, and I've got a couple different selection tools. I've got a selection tool where I can just select arbitrarily, or I've got this tile selection tool where as I click, it's actually selecting just based on the entire tile. Let's do that. So let's click and drag and get from top left to bottom right. I'm going to hit Control C, and now I'm going to open up my tile settings. And I could hit Control V, but that arbitrarily places it. What I want to do is I want to put it exactly in this tile starting at the top left corner. If I hit Control Shift V, it places it and it locks it to the corner, and that's what I want. And hey, this looks like it already matches. It's green and, you know, whatever. It doesn't. This actually is not that same color green, and don't forget, we don't want a green graphic. We want a red, green, and blue graphic, and this is none of those things. I mean, it is green, but it's the wrong green. So we need to translate this into red, green, blue, and that's how we're going to get this non-NESmaker graphic to work in NESmaker. So what I'll do is I need to figure out, okay, what do I want to be what color here? You know what? I could do this. This is a great idea. I could make this and this the same color, and this will be a lighter green, and this would be the brown. So I'm actually going to make a second sub-palette for the top part of this tree, and I'm going to use this for the top, and I'm going to use this for the bottom with this green and brown. So I'm going to use my... I'm going to use my global color change tool and get brown and click here. And it turned it all blue, which is what I want. But if I look at it through palette translation, it looks this color brown now. So now it actually does conform to the needs of NESmaker. And if I want to see, hey, did I get all the tiles yet? I'm not sure if I got them all. I can look at show bad pixels. And you can see I still have a lot of bad pixels here. But the trunk went away because the trunk actually does conform to the red, green, blue now. Okay, so now I want the grass and this part of the tree to be this color green. So I'm going to fill all that. And you can see it made all of that. And there we go. And if I show bad pixels, okay, I only have that left. The problem is this dark color green is not going to work for me. If I do it, check this out. This is not exactly what I want. It looks backwards. That should be the lightest part. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. I'm going to make a second sub palette, and I'm going to make the same green color for the ground in the same spot. But instead, I'm going to use a lighter color green here, and I'm going to use my global color change. And now when I make an asset, I'm going to use this tile set for the bottom, or this palette for the bottom, and this palette for the top. So that's how I can easily sort of start cranking out graphics. I can import graphics, and if I have a graphic that's too many colors, like let's pull in a graphic that's too many colors, I'm going to save that. I'm going to go to Open. Tutorials, from beta, graphics, and I'm going to bring in this one that's just called tiles. And this graphic is a great one.
もう完全にNESmakerの使い方を覚えないとね、まずね。
And obviously way too many colors. It's got pink, dark gray, light gray, black, red, and dark red. And I need to get it to 3 colors to make this work. So how can I best express this in 3 colors? Ground is going to be green, it's going to be grass. Spikes I have to make all gray, and the red is going to be all one color red. Don't worry about the black, because the black is always going to be our transparent color. So we're going to see through this graphic to a background, and that background is black. So anywhere that's black, it'll look black. If I were to change this to say blue, it would all look that. I guess that's more of a periwinkle. Let me come back here. Alright, so let's make this all gray. No, I don't want to use that because I do want that blood red. So I'm going to redundantly use green, and I'm going to use my global color change on the pink. I'm going to make a gray, a light gray, all the grays, I'll make gray.
必須、必要ツールは全部揃ってて、こう使いこなすだけの簡単な
そう、
簡単
簡単なんだけど。
check my show bad pixels. There's no bad pixels. They all work. So now we've looked at how to create graphics, how to import graphics, and how to even import and work with graphics that are just way too color dense for the NES to actually use. And hopefully that gives you an idea of how to manipulate and create some tile sets and create some graphics. Now let's pretend you wanted to work on a player based on a tile set that you've already gotten that's already in green that's already the right size. We're going to use the adventure game tile set for our main object. So I'm going to open it up, and I've actually stored it for you guys. If I go to open, if I go to NESmaker tutorial assets, from beta, you're going to see adventure tile sets game objects. I'm going to bring that in. This is already a game object tile set, and you know what? I don't like these colors at all, but I don't want to change anything over here. Why? Because these are my background palettes. If I change this and say, oh, I want my character to be red, and I'm going to change this to red, I didn't just change, I changed my pals one, I changed this palette. I changed the palette that's going to be used to make my ground and my grass and my tree that I just made. So let me put that back to what it was. I think that's what it was. I want to work with the object palettes. So all I'm going to do is click on this button, and that's going to take me to my object and my monster palettes. All right. So I'm going to make my monster palette 0 my player. And now I'm affecting, I'm going to rename it, and now I'm affecting the object palettes, not those tile palettes. And I'm going to make the background this shadow color, and his face this peach color, and I kind of like him being red. Sure, I like that. I haven't made any adjustments to this. I recommend doing this because this has the graphics that we're going to use going forward, and it's also got something for the sprite 0 hit that we're going to create. So let's just use this, and let's say that we're happy with it. I can't just save it because this is going to save it back to where I opened it from, right? So what I need to do is save as. And now I'm going to replace my game objects tiles with that graphic. Save, yes. And now if I look at it, if I wanted to open it and I look at my game objects, I'd see I've got that tile set. And don't forget, it's not actually red and blue. It is black, red, green, blue, pure colors that's being translated through 0, 1, 2, 3. That color. Right. So awesome. That's a great look at how to start creating graphics in the pixel editor and how to bring in graphics from external editors like Photoshop, GIMP, or even Microsoft Paint, and how to work with graphics that somebody already optimized for NESmaker. And hopefully that gives you a good indication, a good starting point to creating some graphics for your game.
なんか画面が真っ黒になっちゃう、真っ黒つうかアイコンが真っ黒になっちゃうな。なんでだろう。
やすしくんでくさ。
やすしくん。なんかわけわかんないとこいじっちゃったかも。この辺メイズゲーム。
今の動画流しながら見ようにもね。ちょっといじってたの？
そうそうそう。
Hello everybody, it is Joe Granato. Welcome to the brand new NESmaker 4.1.0 tutorials. These specific tutorials are going to show off how to start creating with the base modules the easy way. What we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to create a game that's comparable to that game that you might have played in the arcade with the little yellow guy that chomps on pellets and chases ghosts. Hopefully that conjures the right image in your head. That's the style that we're going for. I'm going to open up my NESmaker 4.1 project. We are going to slam through these tutorials, so bear with me if I move fast. We're going to break it down. Show how easy it is to get started with this new version. So first of all, I need to make a new project. I'm going to File, New. If you don't want to use menus, you have this great new toolbar. So new project, and I'm going to create blank tile sets. So I'm going to create a new folder for new graphics, and I'm going to call it Maze Game. And I'm going to use as a starting module base.maze. Now, understand that these base tutorials, these modules are very light. They're meant to be starting points. They're meant to be teaching tools. This is not the only way to make this style of game. It's not even the best way to make this style of game. This is a bunch of different genres that use the same root code structure, and that's why we've put them all together to show you how quick we can start snapping things together. So we hope that this list grows and grows and grows, and we're going to keep making new ones, and you're going to keep making new ones, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to show you all of that over the next couple of weeks. So let's make a new maze game using the base maze module. Hit OK, and what that really did was, the only thing it did was it loaded a bunch of scripts. So we're not going to even look at the scripts. We're not going to talk about scripts for the entire tutorial other than this right here. We're just going to show these scripts right here. Okay, so these scripts are what loads with that particular module. I'm going to close it. We want to load up graphics. Fortunately, we've already created some for you, so you don't have to actually do the work of creating them yourself. To load in the graphics, I'm going to go to Project Settings, and I'm going to go to Tile Sets. You notice we have this nice new import and export. What we did was we created these games, hit the export button, and then save those tile sets so that you could now hit the import button, and it gives you a warning that it's going to overwrite all the tile sets that are in use. Yes, we want to do that. So where is this tile set? If I navigate to my NESmaker 4.1.0 folder, and I go to Tutorial Assets, and I go to Tutorials 4.1.0, I can find the maze game, and here's a bunch of things that we're going to use. The first one being tile sets. I'm going to double click on tile sets. They're loaded. It was that quick. So I'm going to close this, and to check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor. I'm going to open. And what you're going to see is you have graphics loaded. Notice this is the folder that I made. It's a graphic assets maze game. It automatically made that when I started the project. When I just imported it, imported all these tile sets to the right places. Start wing screen graphics, game object graphics, tile set graphics, etc. Awesome, amazing. Now let's go ahead and load in all of the stuff to make this game, starting with the palettes. So I'm going to go to my palettes, and I'm going to open all palettes. I'm going to right click on all palettes, import maze palettes. Open. And we only made one palette, so I'm also going to go to monster palettes, and right click on monster palettes, import object palettes. And now I'm going to go into assets, which is in graphics banks, graphics bank 1, and there's my assets. I'm going to right click, import assets. Now this is huge. I'm going to import maze assets, and what I just did was I imported all the assets that we're going to use to create this game, and when I loaded the module, it already loaded my references for what tiles should do what. You can see tile 0 is a null tile, tile 1 is solid, tile 2 is a collectible, and they're named that way in my project labels. I've named them walkable, solid, collectible, collect score, monster barrier, etc., etc. So that came in with the module. That's the kind of data that the module itself saves. Now I've just loaded in the assets with one click, and I have all these at my disposal. Okay, so now that I've got those, let me go ahead and load in all of the monsters. I'm going to go to my monster graphics bank, graphics bank 0, monsters. I'm going to right click on monsters. I'm sorry, not right click. I'm going to go to the monster menu, import all monsters. And monsters. open that up, and you'll see I've got my nice little slimes here. And then I'm going to do my game objects. These I have to do sort of one at a time. I'm going to go to my player, game object, import game object. And I've got a folder with game objects. 0 was for my player. I noticed I got 0, 4, and then the rest started 8. Look at scripts. We're not going to talk about scripts for the entire image in your head. You have this great new toolbar. So, new project. And I'm going to create blank tile sets. So I'm going to create a new folder for new graphics. And I'm going to call it Maze Game. And I'm going to use as a starting module base.maze. Now, understand that these base tutorials, these modules are very light. They're meant to be starting points. They're meant to be teaching tools. This is not the only way to make this style of game. It's not even the best way to make this style of game. This is a bunch of different genres that use the same root code structure, and that's why we've put them all together to show you how quick we can start snapping things together. So we hope that this list grows and grows and grows, and we're going to keep making new ones, and you're going to keep making new ones, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to show you all of that over the next couple of weeks. So let's make a new maze game using the base maze module. Hit OK. And what that really did was, the only thing it did was it loaded a bunch of scripts. So we're not going to even look at scripts. We're not going to talk about scripts for the entire tutorial other than this right here. We're just going to show these scripts right here. Okay, so these scripts are what loads with the scripts. We're not going to talk about maze game using the base maze. Did a bunch of scripts. So we're not going to even look at scripts. We're not going to talk about scripts for the entire tutorial other than this right here. We're just going to show these scripts right here. Okay, so these scripts are what loads with that particular module. I'm going to close it. We want to load up graphics. Fortunately, we've already created some for you, so you don't have to actually do the work of creating them yourself. To load in the graphics, I'm going to go to Project Settings, and I'm going to go to Tile Sets. And you notice we have this nice new import and export. What we did was we created these games, hit the export button, and then save those tile sets so that you could now hit.
待って、両方映しとくか、やっぱり。分かりづらいと思うけど。
なるほど分からん無念。
なるほど分からん。これ止めにしとくか。で、
hit the import button, and it gives you a warning that it's going to overwrite all the tile sets that are in use. Yes, we want to do that. So where is this tile set? If I navigate to my NESmaker 4,
今どこちょっと待って。早いんだよ。
If I navigate to my NESmaker 410 folder, and I go
NESmaker フォルダー、チュートリアル 4.1
go to Tutorial Assets, and I go to Tutorials 410, I can find the maze game, and here's a bunch of things that we're going to use. The first one being tile sets.
今何をやった？ Maze game.
You can find the maze game, and here's a bunch of things that we're going to use. The first one being tile sets. I'm going to double click on tile sets. They're loaded. It was that quick. So I'm going to close this, and to check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor. Go to open, and what you're going to see is this, and to check, they're loaded. It was that quick. Tile sets. I'm going to double click on tile sets. They're loaded. It was that quick. So I'm going to close this, and to check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor. Go to open, and what you're going to see is you have graphics loaded. Notice this is the folder. Go to open, and what you're going to check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor. Open, and what you're going to see is you have check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor. Go to open. And what you're going to see is you have graphics loaded. Notice this is the folder that I made, the maze game. It's a graphic assets maze game. It automatically made that when I started the project. When I just imported it, imported all these tile sets to the right places. Start windscreen graphics, game object graphics, tile set graphics, etc. Awesome, amazing. Now let's go ahead and load in all of this. Awesome. Graphics, game object graphics, tile set graphics, etc. Awesome, amazing. Now let's go ahead and load in all of the stuff to make this game, starting with the palettes. So I'm going to go to my palettes, and I'm going to open all palettes. I'm going to right click on all palettes, import maze palettes. And we only made one palette, so I'm also going to go to monster palettes. Monster palettes. And we only made one palette, so I'm also going to go to monster palettes. And palettes. Palettes. And I'm going to open all palettes. I'm going to right click on all palettes. Import maze palettes. And we only made one palette, so I'm also going to go to monster palettes. And right click on monster palettes. Import object palettes. And we only made one palette, so I'm also going to go to monster palettes. Right click on monster palettes, import object palettes. And now I'm going to go into assets, which is in graphics banks. Graphics bank 1. And right click on monster palettes, import object palettes. And now I'm going to go into assets, which is in graphics banks. Graphics bank 1. And there's my assets. I'm going to right click, import assets. Now this is huge. I'm going to import assets, which is in graphics banks. Graphics bank 1. And there's my assets. I'm going to right click, import assets. Now this is huge. I'm going to import. There's my assets. I'm going to right click, import graphics bank 1. And there's my assets. I'm going to right click, import assets. Now this is huge. I'm going to import maze assets. And what I just did was I imported all the assets that we're going to use to create this. I import maze assets. And what I just did was assets. Now this is huge. I'm going to import maze assets. And what I just did was I imported all the assets that we're going to use to create this game. And when I loaded the module, it already loaded my references game, and when I loaded the module, it already loaded my references for what tiles should do what. You can see tile 0 is a null tile, tile 1 is solid, tile 2 is a collectible, and they're named that way in my project labels. I've named them walkable, solid, collectible, collect score, monster barrier, etc., etc. So that came in with the module. That's the kind of data that the module itself saves. Now I've just loaded in the assets with one click, and I have all these at my disposal. Okay, so now that I've got those, let me go ahead and load in all of the monsters. I'm going to go to my monster graphics bank.
Monster graphic bank.
Bank 0, monsters. I'm going to right click on. Monsters. I'm sorry, not right click. I'm going to go to the monster menu, import all monsters, and I'm going to click maze monsters. Open that up, and you'll see I've got my nice little slimes here. And then I'm going to do my game objects. These I have to do sort of one at a time. I'm going to go to, and you'll see and I'm going to click maze monsters. Open that up, and you'll see I've got my nice little slimes here. Monsters. I'm sorry, not right click. I'm going to go to the monster menu. Import all monsters.
Import all monsters.
And I'm going to click maze monster.
Maze monster, これか。
Open that up, and you'll see I've got my nice little slimes here. And then I'm going to do my game objects. These I have to do sort of one at a time. I'm going to go to my player.
で、ちょっと待って。早いよ、早いよ。
One at a time. I'm going to go to my player. I have to do sort of one at a time. Nice little slimes here. And then I'm going to do my game objects. These I have to do sort of one at a time. I'm going to go to my player. Game object. Import game object. And I've got a folder with game objects. 0 was for my player. I noticed I got 0, 4, and then the rest started at 8. So 0 is player. And that loaded in all of his details, his animations, his speeds, his behaviors, all that stuff. His behaviors, all that stuff. His speeds. 0 is player. And that loaded in all.
これか。オブジェクトディティール。
All of his details, his animations, his speeds, his behaviors, all that stuff. Same thing with the objects. The next one was 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the first pickup, so I'm gonna load.
何今？ヘルスパックアップピックアップ？これか。
It's the first pickup, so I'm gonna load my power up monster. Then the next one was 8, which I know is effective.
今どれを選択した？
Then the next one was 8, was 1, 2, his behavior. 1, 2, the first power up.
ゲームの目的をインポートしてください。
ゲームの目的 which I know is effect 0. Some of these I just know because I've done it a lot. So if you don't know, that's why we kind of put the numbers. So player death object. Next one.
プレイヤーです。プレイヤーですってどれだ？あ、エフェクトか。エフェクト0。エフェクト0にプレイヤーですってことか。で、インポート。これか。
No is effect 0. Some of these I just know because I've done it a lot. So if you don't know, that's why we kind of put the numbers. So player death object. The next one is a monster death object. And the next one is a
モンスターデスオブジェクトもインポ同じところでいいのか。エフェクト次がモンスターですか。モンスターデスオブジェクト。うん、まあこれも一緒だね。
player victory object.
エフェクトにインポートプレイヤービクトリー。
Right. And then I'm going to load in my control schemes. I'm going to go to my import editor.
今何やった？
Input editor. Import editor. Then I'm going to load in my control schemes. I'm going to go to
これはスクリプトじゃない、インプットか。インプットエディターか。インプットエディター。
my import editor. My input editor. I'm going, instead of manually doing all this, I can go to input linker.
ここもいきなりインポートか。インポートリンカー。
In my maze game, I can see I've got maze control scheme. And it loaded in my
ちょっと待って、メイズゲーム。あ、これか。NMI か。
inputs that I don't need. And it loaded at maze control scheme. Input scripts. And in my maze game, I can see I've got maze control scheme. And it loaded in my inputs. Now I don't need this last one. This was for testing purposes. I wanted to show you guys something. You don't need this. You can leave it and erase it. Just I wouldn't use it for anything. All this does is demonstrates that when you press the B button, the score goes up, and we'll test that in a later tutorial. But I'm just gonna slam through this right now. So what I've done is in under 10 minutes, I've loaded in. In a new project, I've loaded in the graphics, the assets, the palettes, the objects, the control scheme. Now I can actually I have to build a HUD real quick. That's the only thing.
HLD、HA じゃない、HUD ボクシーズ。何これ？
Work I've got to do right now. This is new, so this is something that you guys have to focus on. I want to use Sprite
Zero Detection.
Zero Detection. All of these modules that we're going to look at in this base set that I'm giving you right now for the tutorials use Sprite Zero Detection. And we're going to use the same values for all of them by default. So, Sprite Zero Index is 127. This is what sprite that we're actually going to use. It's
インデックス127.
The last one in the game object sprite section. H blank 1. We're just going to use 1 for now, and if we need to change
H ブランクウェイトタイム1.
change this, we'll change it later. X, we want this sprite 0 to end up right in this corner right here, and I know those values to be about 246 pixels across and about 30 pixels down.
And
that's going to put it right at the bottom here. It's still touching where the end of that HUD is going to be. And what's going to happen is, as the game is drawing a screen, this is where it's going to split the screen. So this part will stay a HUD, and this part will be free to roam for scrolling. So we've built that in automatically. Usually this is a lot of thinky work to do. These controls right here will allow you to do a lot of control with that. But right now we're going to leave all of our boxes set up the same way. We're also going to go to our user variables. We notice that I've got a... Anyway, we're also going to go... user variable. To our user variables, we notice that I've got a my score variable, 0, 1, 2 down.
User bar, my health, my score, my gift, my money. User bar 5, 6, 7.
So I'm going to set the score up.
で、こっちか。
0, 1, 2 down.
Element 3.
And it's going to be a number. And it's going to...
Element 3タイプが3、何これ。ナンバー。My score.
I'm going to have 8 places as far as I can go. And
すげえな。まあ8桁のスコアってことね。
I'm just going to place it wherever I want. And you know what? I want
to... 5の3。なるほどね。すげえな、これ。
know what that is. So I'll use element 1.
わこなんか面白そうなことやってる。
やってるでしょ。遅れてさいらっしゃいませ。
And I'll use the string.
で、何？次がテキスト？ストリング。スコア。スコア。で、これも、00か。下がっちゃった。にして、
And I'll just place it right on top.
あれ、ちょっと待って。エフェクト1じゃんか、ちょっと待って。エフェクト3が、ナンバーで、エフェクト1がテキストでスコアってことね。5の2かよ。
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an emulator. So I'm going to
これすげえな。ここだけ見たらすげえな。プロジェクトセッティングでエミュレーター。エミュレーターセッティングしてねえな。
Emulator, I'm going to go to desktop. And this stuff. This is where my emulator is. I recommend using Messen if you.
メセンちょっとダウンロードするわ。ネスアスムの方が、でもネスアスムクソ重いからメセンの方がいいのかな。でエミュレーターの設定をすると。あれ、ブラウザどれになった？これか。これじゃない、これか。
need an emulator. It's a free emulator and it's really good. Next, I'm going to set up my working folder. I'm going to point to my project. So I'm going to go to Desktop, NESmaker 410, Game Engine Data, Game. There we go. So now it'll open up in Message. Now I can go to my overworld. So now it'll open up. Set up my working folder. I'm going to point to my project. So I'm going to go to Desktop, NESmaker 410.
Game Engine Data.
Game Engine Data, Game.
これにしなきゃいけないの？NESmaker、チュートリアル。じゃなくてこれフォルダだったらじゃあいいよ。エミュレーターのところでいいや。エミュレーターにテンポってつくとか、ウォークってつくとか。あれ開けないよ。何これ？ちょっと待って。
Folder. I'm going to point to my project. So I'm going to go to Desktop, NESmaker 4.
NESmaker、あれそんなフォルダあったっけ？ NESmaker、あった、ゲームエンジンデータ。ゲームエンジンデータのグラフィックじゃあれ
410 Game Engine Data。
ゲームなんかある？NES ファイルのことか。これか。パラメータ。そういうことね。なるほどね。
Game. There we go. So now it'll open up in Messin. Now I can go to my overworld and I've already got all my assets. I can right click, play my overworld, and I've already got all my assets. My overworld and NESmaker 410, Game Engine Data, Game. So now it'll open up in Messin. Now I can go to my overworld and NESmaker place my player, all my assets. So now it'll open up in Messin.
オーバーワールドでこれ選択すればいいのか。
Now I can go to my overworld and I've already got all my assets. I can right click.
これもっとでかくなんないのかな？もっとでかくなんの？これちっちゃいね。ウィングも隠れちゃってっかんな。ちょっと待って。これ拡大できないの？拡大。ここにちっちゃいのがいるんだけど。まあいいや。
Place my player, build a screen, hit F5 to erase that, and I'm just putting these around. Place my player, build NESmaker 410. So now it'll open up in Messin. Now I can go to my overworld and I've already got all my assets. I can right click.
プレイヤー、これか。
Click, place my player, build a screen.
ロードスクリーン。なるほど、すげえ。これ、あれ消しゴムないの？消しゴム。 わー、すごい簡単ではあるんだけどさ。消しゴムないの？あ、これコレジョンね。オールアセッツ。あ、これか。これで塗り方前か。消しゴムがこれか。フロアウィズシャドウ。で、主人公の置いてる場所もちょっと違うよな。
まるでボンバーキングメン。
ボンバーキングメン。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、9ブロック目。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、ここか。
Hit F5 to erase that, and I'm just putting these around the edge of the room.
あれこれ何これ？これ消しゴムは消しゴム。うわ、これ置くのめんどくさくね。まあ言いたいか。こっちなんで消しゴム作れるんだろう。消しゴムにしてんだろう。
And their collision detection is already there.
囲う感じ？これはみ出したのをさ、どうすればいいんだろう。もう無償なんか違うところある？
無地で塗り直すのが消しゴム扱いなんか？
これ背景で塗り直すのがなんだけど、いちいちさこれ選択しなくても消せてるじゃん、動画は。消しゴムってどういうの？なんだっけ、
ね、ショートカットないんか。
ないのかな。それかキーボードショートカットかなんかあるかもね。
イレーサー。
そう、イレーサー。なんかパレットパス0でしょ。まあとりあえず囲えと。囲ったよ。
Their palette information is already there. So now, if I test my game, I should already be in business.
エクスポート&テストアスム。これでいく。なんだこりゃ。あ、目線のコンビが出た。あ、ついた。おー、すげえすげえ。ちょっと待って。これ今ここでさ、ちょっとこれね、これが今これエミュレーターで動いてる。でもキャラクターいないんだけど、しかもゴミが上にあるんだけど。
I should be able to run, the collision should check, the animation should all be working, and that is me getting up and running with no code, with all my assets, all my graphics in under 10 minutes.
ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。
So we got a good start.
何か間違えてる？インプット。
その時、不思議なことが起こった。
あれ、この辺いじってないとかもしかして。今何分ね ?9 分36秒。インプットどっからここか。
Under 10 minutes, I've in a new project, I've loaded in the graphics, the assets, the palettes, the objects, the control scheme. Now I can actually, I have to build a HUD real quick. That's the only think work I've got to do right now. This is no code. Now, hit F5 to erase that. And I'm just putting these around the edge of the room. Their collision detection is already there, their palette information is already there. So now, if I test my game, I should already be in business. I should be able to run.
ちゃんと動かないんだけど。ツールでもパトつなげてねえかんな。なんでだろう。何を間違えた。
スクール以来の久々のゲーム制作枠ですかはこ
でございます。68個されしたので。スクール以来というか、ダンジョンキットも一応制作ツールなんだけど、ここに変なゴミが出てて、でキャラクターが表示されない。なぜだ。
テストプレイだと気づかんかもね。
気づかんかもね。ダメだ、動かねえな。いや、動かないっていうか、キャラクターが表示されない。スクリプトスプライトが表示されねえな。
ったとかあるんでしょうか。無地で塗っちゃったとか。
いや、それはないと思うね。目線でネットプレイで対応してんだ。あれこれキャラあれ目線って何キャラ見れないの？デバッカであった AP これ APU か。イベントビューはあと PPU キャラビューはあるけどなんか変だな。おかしいな。おかしくねえよ。スプライトビューはスプライトに何も設定されてねえじゃん。キャラクターには入ってるけどさ、あれなんか間違えてんな。スプライトがだってこれしかスプライトに入ってない。PPUB はパレットは OK だな。どこで何か間違えたかもしれない。ちょっと巻き戻そう。多分キャラクターのセットのところ。
My monster graphics bank 0 monsters. I'm gonna right click on monsters. I'm sorry, not right click. I'm gonna go to the monster menu, import all monsters, and I'm gonna click maze monsters.
まだ時間あるからもう一回最初からやってみようか。もう一回最初から。これプロジェクトを破棄して。
We're gonna break it down in future tutorials, but we're gonna show how easy it is. NESmaker 4.1.0 folder and open up a new project. We are going to slam through these tutorials, so bear with me if I move fast. We're going to break it down in future tutorials, but we're going to show how easy it is to get started with this new version. So first of all, I need to make a new project. I'm going to File, New. If you don't want to use menus, you have this great new toolbar. So New Project, and I'm going to create blank tile sets. So I'm going to create a new folder for new graphics, and I'm going to call it Maze Game. And I'm going to use as a starting module base.maze. Now, understand that these base tutorials, these modules are very light. They're meant to be starting points. They're meant to be teaching tools. This is not the only way to make this style of game. It's not even the best way to make this style of game. This is a bunch of different genres that use the same root code structure, and that's why we've put them all together to show you how quick we can start snapping things together. So we hope that this list grows and grows and grows, and we're going to keep making new ones, and you're going to keep making new ones, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to show you all of that over the next couple weeks. So let's make a new maze game using the base maze module. Hit OK, and what that really did was, the only thing it did was it loaded a bunch of scripts. So we're not going to even look at the scripts. We're not going to talk about scripts for the entire tutorial other than this right here. We're just going to show these scripts right here. Okay? So these scripts are what loads with that particular module. We want to load up graphics. Fortunately, we've already created some for you, so you don't have to actually do the work of creating them yourself. To load in the graphics, I'm going to go to Project Settings, and I'm going to go to Tile Sets. And you notice we have this nice new import and export. What we did was we created these games, hit the export button, and then save those tile sets so that you could now hit the import button, and it gives you a warning that it's going to overwrite all the tile sets that are in use. Yes, we want to do that. So where is this tile set? If I navigate to my NESmaker 4.1.0 folder, and I go to Tutorial Assets, and I go to Tutorials 4.1.0, I can find the maze game, and here's a bunch of things that we're going to use. The first one being tile sets. I'm going to double click on tile sets. They're loaded. It was that quick. So I'm going to close this, and to check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor, go to open, And what you're going to see is you have graphics loaded. Notice this is the folder that I made.
ちょっと待って。あれタイルセットが開けねえな。あら？あ、こっちで開かなきゃダメか。オッケーオッケー。エクスプローラー側だとダメなのね。
It's in graphic assets maze game. It automatically made that when I started the project. When I just imported it, imported all these tile sets to the right places. Start wind screen graph places. We made that. This is that quick. So I'm going to close this, and to check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor. And what you're going to see is you have graphics loaded. Notice this is the folder that I made, the maze game. It's in graphic assets maze game. The automatic assets maze. Go to open. And what you're going to see is you have graphics loaded. Notice this is the folder that I use this. And to check it, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my pixel editor. Go to open. And what you're going to see is you have graphics loaded. Notice this is the folder that I made, the maze game. It's in graphic assets maze game. It automatically made that when I started the project. When I just imported it, imported all these tile sets to the right places. Start wind screen graphics, game object graphics, tile set graphics, etc. Awesome, amazing. Now let's go ahead and load in all of the stuff to make this game, starting with the palettes. So I'm going to go to my palettes, and I'm going to open all palettes. I'm going to right click on all palettes, import maze palettes. And we only made one palette, so I'm also going to go to monster palettes and right click on monster palettes, import object palettes. And now I'm going to go into assets, which is in graphics banks, graphics bank 1, and there's my assets. And now I'm going to go into assets and right click on monster palettes, import object palettes. And monster palettes, import object palettes. And now I'm going to go into assets, which is in graphics banks, graphics bank 1, and there's my assets. I'm going to right click, import assets. Now this is huge. I'm going to import maze assets, and what I just did was I imported all the assets that we're going to use to create this game, and when I loaded the module, it already loaded my references for what tiles should do what. You can see tile 0 is a null tile, tile 1 is solid, tile 2 is a collected tile. And they're named that way in my project labels. I've named them walkable, solid, collectible, collect score, monster barrier, etc., etc. So that came in with the module. That's the kind of data that the module itself saves. Now I've just loaded in the asset itself. So that project labels, I've named them walkable, solid, collectible, collect score, monster barrier, etc., etc.
モンスター、なんだ、タイルタイプ、モンスターバリア、モンスターバーラーでいいのかな。
So that came in with the module. That's the kind of data that the module itself saves. Now I've just loaded in the assets with one click, and I have all these at my disposal. Okay, so now that I've got those, let me go ahead and load in all of the monsters. I'm going to go to my monster graphics bank, graphics bank 0, monsters, right click.
0。あ、こっちモンスターグラフィックバンクか。
ゴップレス U はコツです。
ゴップレス A ボタンされてます。これがグラフィックバンク0。 モンスターズ。
こういう説明中にもただしこれをこうしたいならここは設定しなくていいとかなんとかも言ってるんでしょうな。
言ってるんだろうね。
Monsters. I'm sorry, not right click. I'm going to go to the monster menu. Import.
Import all monsters.
Import all monsters. And I'm going to click Maze Monsters.
Maze Monsters.
たまにI'm sorry聞こえるし。
あ、ごめんごめん、これは間違ったって感じだね。そうじゃなくてみたいな。
Open that up and you'll see I've got my nice little
ボールモンスター出たね、スライム。
slimes here. And then I'm going to do my game objects. These have
ゲームオブジェクト。
to do sort of one at a time. I'm going to do my player.
引きこもりが大臣とフプスをひたすらしてたら英検に消えちゃった伝説の話がありますね。
マジでそんなの？まあでもそれすごいよね。プレイヤー。
Game object.
ゲームオブジェクト。インポートオブジェクト。
Import game object. And I've got a folder with game objects. 0 was for my player. I noticed that. 0, 4, and then the rest started at 8. So 0 is player. And that loaded in all of his details.
オブジェクトディティールズ。
Animations, his speeds, you know, his behaviors, all that stuff. Same thing.
がもう設定されてると。
With the objects. The next one was 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was
1, 2, 3。プレイヤーの下から1, 2, 3, 4。ケースパックアップ、ピックアップ。
It's the first pickup, so I'm going to load.
First pickup. で、インポート。
Power up monster.
パワーモンスター、パワーアップモンスター。
Then the next one was 8, which I
エフェクト0。
know is effect 0. Some of these I just know because I've done it a lot. So if you don't know, that's why
これもインポート。
we kind of put the numbers. So player death object.
プレイヤーです。オブジェクト。
Next one is a monster death object.
エフェクト1。モンスターです。オブジェクト。
The next one is a player victory object.
で、2がプレイヤービクトリーオブジェクト。
Alright, and then I'm going to load in my control schemes.
ここインプットね。インプットエディター。
My import editor. My input editor. I'm going, instead of manually doing all this, I can go to input linker, import input scripts, and in my maze game, I can see I've got
NMI maze game.
Maze control scheme. And it loaded in my inputs. Now I don't need this last one. This was for testing purposes. I wanted to show you guys some.
ここだけなんか違うな。何これ？メインゲーム。メインゲームプレス塗るゼロ。ベージかこれはまあこれは一緒なのか。
You don't need this. You can.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11。
Leave it and erase it. Just I wouldn't use it for anything. All this does is demonstrates that when you press the B button, the score goes up. And we can we'll test that in the later tutorial, but I'm just slam through this. So what I've done is in under 10 minutes, I've loaded in. I've in a new project. I've loaded in the graphics, the assets, the palettes, the objects, the control scheme. Now I can actually. I have to build a hub. real quick. That's the only think work I've got to do right now. This is new, so this is something that you guys have to focus on. I want to use sprite zero detection. All of these modules that we're going to look at in this base set that I'm giving you right now for the tutorials use sprite zero detection. And we're going to use the same values for all of them by default. So sprite zero index is 127. This is what sprite that we're actually going to use. It's the last one in the game object sprite section. H blank 1, we're just going to use 1 for now, and if we need to change this, we'll change it later. X, we want this sprite 0 to end up right in this corner right here, and I know those values to be about 246 pixels across and about 30 pixels down. And that's going to put it right at the bottom here. It's still touching where the end of that HUD is going to be. And what's going to happen is, as the game is drawing a screen, this is where it's going to split the screen. So this part will stay a HUD, and this part will be free to roam for scrolling. So we've built that in automatically. Usually this is a lot of thinky work to do. These controls right here will allow you to do a lot of control with that. But right now we're going to leave all of our boxes set up the same way. We're also going to go to our user variables. We notice that I've got a user variable. My score variable, it's 0, 1, 2 down. So I'm going to set the score up 0, 1, 2 down, and it's going to be a number. Element 3. And it's going to have 8 places as far as I can go. And I'm just going to place it wherever I want. And you know what? I want to know what that is. So I'll use element 1 for text. And use the string score. And I'll just place it right on top. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an emulator. So I'm going to go to my settings, and rather than use our built-in emulator, I'm going to go to my settings, and rather than the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an emulator. So I'm going to go to my settings. And rather than use our built-in emulator, I'm going to go to desktop and this stuff. This is where my emulator is. I recommend using Mesin if you need an emulator. It's a free emulator and it's really good. Next, I'm going to set up my working folder. I'm going to point to my project. So I'm going to go to desktop, NESmaker 410, game engine data, game. There we go. So now it'll open up. Now I can go to my overworld, and I've already got play testing. Now I can go to my overworld, and so I'm going to go to desktop, NESmaker 410, game engine. Data game. Okay. So now it'll open up in Mesin. Now I can go to my overworld, and I've already got all. So now it'll open up in Mesin. Now I can go to my overworld, and I've already got all my assets. I can right-click, place my player, build a screen, hit F5 to erase that, and I'm just putting these around the edge of the room. And their collision detection is already there, their palette information is already there. So now, if I test my game, I should already be in business. I should be able to run the collision check, the animation should all be working. And that is me getting up and running with no code, with all.
いけたいけた。出たね、出たね。出たね。
映ってますね。
映ってるね、キャラクター。ありがとうございます。キャラクター映ってる。あ、動く動く。これうまい、当たり判定もうまいな。 いいね。
動くぞ。
動く。すげえ、たったこれだけで、まあ、アセット使ってるけど、いいね。なんだっけ、ゲームグルより全然いいんじゃないか、これは。動いた。あれだね、スプライトゼロの検出と、その分割の設定がダメだっつうか、間違えてたね。246ラインの30じゃなくて3って入れちゃったから、だからここに入れてたんだよ、ここに、スプライトが。オッケー、出た。
All my assets, all my graphics in under 10 minutes. There we go. So we got a good start. So let's actually make this into.
終わってた。オッケー。ちょっと待ってね。
A game that sort of resembles that one that I was talking about. First of all, this is pretty good. First of all, is that one that I was talking about. First of all, this is pretty good. I'm going to do a few more things. First of all, I'm going to screen info, and I'm going to tell it I want it to be a single thing. I'm going to do a few more things. First of all, I'm going to screen info, and I'm going to tell it I want it to be a single screen game. We're going to explain more why we're going to select this. And because I've said a bunch of things and I don't want to forget what I've selected, I'm going to go to my overworld, and I'm going to click on this screen that I've made, Control C. And I'm just going to pick an arbitrary screen down here and hit Control V. And all I'm doing is I'm saving the screen so it's easy for me to make changes to this one, but I've got sort of a blank one that I can copy and paste into new screens. Alright, so now let me make a quick copy and paste into new screens. Changes to this one, but I've got sort of a blank one that I can copy. And all I'm doing is I'm
ドラッグアンドドロップでいけんの？デリートスクリーンセット。
saving the screen so it's easy for me to make changes to. I got sort of a blank. I'm just going to pick an arbitrary screen down here and hit Control V. And all I'm doing is I'm saving.
あれドラッグアンドドロップできないでしょ。ああ、これで一回もねまた戻って、あ、これビューレット。ちょっと違うな、いや違うな、ちょっと待って、これ背景何もないじゃんね。ちょっと待って、デリートスクリーンで、何やった今。
Control C. I'm just going to pick an arbitrary screen down here and hit Control V. And all I'm doing is I'm saving the screen so.
ここで何やった？ドラッグアンドドロップじゃないのこれ。ワンツーツー。 回。
I'm going to go to my overworld, and I'm going to click on this screen that I've made, Control C. And I'm just going to pick an arbitrary screen down here.
あ、コントロール C か、コントロール C か。なるほどね。これでこうして、コントロール C で。ああ、なるほどね。コントロール C とコントロール V でコピペできるってことか。そんなもん、マウスの右クリに入れとけよ、バカ。まあいいや、コントロール C でコピペできるってことね。
Control V. And all I'm doing is I'm saving the screen so it's easy for me to make changes to this one, but I've got sort of a blank one that I can copy and paste into new screens. Alright, so now let me make a quick, maze game type screen. It's not really a maze, I don't know what you call it.
多分解像度との違いじゃないかな。多分広げればのぺーとするんじゃない？のぺーとしたのぺーと。
あ、それか。
そう、これ。大きさ、Windows の大きさ変えればのぺーとしたする感じ。
We're collecting the things and running around and
メイズだから、マップを書いたけど。
I don't know, something like this, whatever. And what I'll do is I'll put a few collectible objects in there as well.
配置してけと。
Okay.
間違えた。間違いじゃないか。消しゴムないのかな、消しゴム。こんな感じで、コレクタブルボール、これも配置しろと。要はメイズゲーム使うよりドットイート。
Alright, so now I will export and test my game. And I want to make sure that my collectibles work and that all the solid objects are locking me in and all that stuff. It's always good to sort of check.
これで一回チェック。おお。でも横向いてんだけど、最初。あ、すげえ取れるじゃん。取ってしかもスコアも勝手に入るようになってる。
Very cool stuff. All right, let's add some monsters.
あ、バグった。
So I'm going to go to my monsters because I did import my monsters, but I do have to make a monster group.
で、モンスターを設定をすると。
Very cool stuff. All right, let's add some monsters. So I'm going to go to my monsters because I did import my monsters, but I do have to make a monster.
モンスターグループ。
Group out of these guys.
スライム1。
I'm gonna load them all in.
スライム2。
And really, it's simple. I made duplicates of a monster. They all behave exactly the same way, except they move a little bit faster successively. So, monsters like the red one.
スライムス。言わなかった。
One's the slowest and the white one's the fastest, I think. So now I've got a monster group called Slimes.
あれ
And if I go back, so now I've got a monster group called these monsters. The red one's the slowest and the white one's the fastest, I think. So now I've got a monster group called slimes. And if I go back to my room,
オーバーワールドに来て、
I can go to my screen info. Daemon monsters and say.
スクリーン、あれあ、これがスクリーンインフォか。スクリーンインフォ。
Yep, I want slime.
スクリーンインフォで、デイモンスターズで、スライムスで出た。
And what palette do I want that room to use?
パレットは変えられるのか。おお、なるほどね。
That one right there, that second palette.
Okay.
Okay. And don't worry, I know the player changes. It automatically updates, and we have to fix that so that it stays the player palette. It will in the game. Don't worry about that. Now I'm going to put my monsters in the room. I'm going to right click. I'm going to place just a bunch.
ここにモンスタースライム1をセット
To monster ones. I'm going to place 3 monster ones. So
プリツモンスター2
monster 2 is going to be monster.
ここも赤
1 and monster.
モンスター3
3 is going to be.
モンスターライム赤
So 3 slow moving monsters. And let's just make sure that they hurt me.
でこれでまた動作確認ね。おお、動いてる。なるほどね。当たったら死ぬのかな。あ、死んだ。
広告が設定されました。累計ポイント数が800になりました。
頭の肥やしです。超肥やしです。
Stuff, run into them, and I die, and the game restarts. Perfect. So I've already got monsters loaded in.
死んだらスコアリセットされるんだね。
Pickups. Let's load in something a little bit different. Let's make a new monster group because these games are even more fun when you can go after them. So, excuse me. I'm gonna use this power up object as my fourth object. So I'm going to I'm gonna right click, and for my fourth monster, instead of using one of these, I'm going to use my
4モンスターじゃなくてモンスターをチェンジピックアップじゃあチャージピックアップか。じゃなかった。これ消せないの？あれスプライト消すにはどうしたらいいんだろう？パワーアップかい。なんだよ、ふざけんなバカ。あ、これでいいのか。上書き消すのどうやればいいんだろう。消すのは
広告が設定されました。累計ポイント数が1400になりました。
ミーリーじゃないね。これで上書きになってんのかな。重なってない？大丈夫？ちょっと待って。なってんのかな。なってる。オッケーオッケー。おお。でもパワーアップの時はキャラクター動かねえんだ。
Okay, I'm going to use this power up. And when I get that power up, I'm going to be able to go after the monsters for a short amount of time. And again, when we look deeper into how to make this style game, I'll show you exactly how I did it for this particular module. There's a lot of ways to do all these things. So let's make sure that works. So now if I run into the monster, he gets me. Okay, when I run into this, everything changes. Oh, they're blue now, and now I can get them, and they get hurt. And then my flashing starts to slow down, and then they sort of come back, and when I run into them, I die. Okay, so that works. Now, the last thing that we need to, the last couple things we need to add some music and stuff, but also I want to add more screens. So what I'll do is, I could copy and paste this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this blank one, Control-C, and paste it right here. Sometimes this is a little bit particular. You got to sort of hang on the Control-C and the Control-V, but it does work. So now I can build a second screen, and I'm going to make this, you know, decidedly different.
.要はそうか、プレーンテキストは適当に残してってことね。残せるってことね。残しとけよってことか。プレーンの背景を。でまた背景をかけと。
Easter egg things. It's the second screen. Okay, so put it in there.
広告が設定されました。累計ポイント数が1800になりました。
I didn't set up monsters in that copied screen, so I'm gonna have to set those up again. I'm gonna set up slimes, use the slime palette.
でこれも配置してけと。
Monster here, monster here, monster here maybe.
Monster here.
I don't need to set my player, but I am gonna need to remember the input place.
あらモンスター、あれモンスターどうやって配置してた今。あ、そうか、これ違うよ、これ違うよ、パレスモンスター。あれなんでなくね。ちょっと待って、メニューが出てこないな。これモンスターバリアか。ん？
make it so that I know it's the second screen. I'll do one of those clever
2って書くじゃん。
Easter egg
2を書い
things.
て
It's the second screen. Okay, so put it in there.
あ、これ別にいいんじゃん。
Didn't set up monsters in that copied screen, so I'm gonna have to set those up again. I'm gonna set up.
ああ、モンスターグループ、なるほどね。そういうことか。スクリーンインフォでモンスターグループ。これ入れなきゃダメなのか。なるほど、なるほど。
Slimes, use a slime palette. Put in monster here, monster here, monster here maybe.
モンスター here.
I don't need to set my player, but I am going to need to remember the input place. And I'll set my,
あ、そっかそっか。
if I want it, my power.
ちょっと待って。早いよ、早いよ。なるほどね。ああ、なるほどね。モンスター、これすげえな。1画面に大量の敵出そうとすると、すげえめんどくせえ感じがする。まあ、このやり方だと。ここにパワーアップ
or up here. Now this is where I want my character to enter. Let's say I want him to enter right here in the Z. I can look up here.
で、つなげるにはどう
see
したらいい
it's
の？
11.5. So right up here. So I put my mouse there. 11.5. Cool. I can go to screen info and say that I want
スクリーンインフォ
to warp in. At
ウォークイ
11.5.
ンスクリーンロケーション11の5
And
で OK
now I'm going to say that when I collect all these, where am I going to warp
でセーブなんかした
to? If I look at my map.
今どうやって戻った
Say that when I collect 5. And now I'm going to say that when I collect
キーでいけんなるほどね左右キーで行ったり来たりできんだ隣り合ってるのはなるほどね今の場所とかどっかに出ないのかな出ないっぽいね間違えたあれちょっと待って何これ勝手に作られちゃうのか
select all these. Where am I going to warp to? If I look at my map, here's where I am on the map. 0, 0, 1, 0. So I'm going to, if I collect all those, where am I going to warp to? So where's my warp out? Is 1, 0 on the map screen.
1、0ワープアウトスクリーンか OK
So now let's try and beat this first level.
でこれでつながるかどうかBGM がないね怖っ最後の1個はパワーアップつながったすげえ一発で死んだなんで死んだらまたステージ最初からかよ
we go. Alright. Getting the coins and staying away from slimes and hurrah! And then I go to the next level and I start in that corner. So that's awesome. Now I haven't set where to go from this screen, so if I collect all on this screen, it's going to go to 0, 0, and weird things are going to happen, and yeah, all that stuff. So we're going to get to a win screen in a second here, but I just wanted to kill the monster. So lastly, let's add some sound effects and some music to this thing. Open up sound. Right click on sound here on the import family tracker text. Import family tracker text, and if you go to that folder with the tutorials, you should see a tutorial music file.
Tutorial music. Maze. チュートリアルこっちか。これか。
I'm going to import that, and that's going to give me a bunch of a couple of songs and a bunch of sound effects. Now, what I've done is, if I go to sound effects, you can see I've already set up sound effects for this module. I've already defined them. So in the code, it looks for these things. If these things were missing, the code would give me an error, but fortunately, it doesn't. So I don't think I used a lot of these, but I know that I use sound hurt, which I use sound effect ouch for. I used get, I used the sound of the coins. Splat was when I killed the monster, I used thud. Victory, I don't think it uses card, it doesn't use enter, text box, power up, it doesn't. Power up it does, and power down it does. So it uses these. It was using these sound effects before, but it was playing the empty sound effect. Now, if I loaded up new sounds and new sound effects for this, it would still look for these same things, but it would reference these sounds, and I'd have those sounds as choices. So if you loaded up one that was like, SFX shoot or something, right? Then that would be a choice that I have over here, and I could change my power up to a custom sound effect that you had loaded in. So
power up. Power.
Anyway, now I've got music. Oops. Sorry. I've got a song. I've got does not like to actually look at the sounds. That's okay. We're not going to use that anyway. We're going to use.
これあれか。びっくりした。音でかいね、ちょっとね。ちょっと待って、ボリューム。でかすぎだよ、ちょっと。
ビビった。
ごめんなさい。
ビビった。
ごめんなさい。あ、これライトウェーブ、ウェーブ出力か。
また懐かしみのある BGM
だね。他のも聞けんのかな。コイン。ジャンプ。これプレイしたら自動でストップしてほしいよね。ショット。これがショットなの？ブームってなんだ？
Use Family Tracker to create music, so that's still an in progress thing. However, when I test the game, it's going to play the first song by default. I don't want it to play the maze intro. I want to play the main theme. So on the screens that I have, I'm going to change the song here. I'm going to go to screen.
Over there. So go ahead. いらんスクリーンちょっと。これもワンキーでデリートできるのね。
寿司ゲーを思い出す。
寿司ゲーを。デリートキーも効かねえな。めんどくさいね。あと まとめて消すとかさ。ワンクリックで消したいよね。で、
info and
スクリーンインフォ
where it says song maze intro
デイソングメインテーマの方がいいな。
I'm going to change it to song main theme. And I'm going to do that for all my current screens. Screen info. I'm going to change it to main
でスクリーンインフォもう一回やって、
theme. Hit OK. And now I'm going to have music and sound effects. Let's test that real quick, and then I'm going to make a quick start and win screen. Just using the NESmaker logo for the start screen.
またすげえでけえ音するかもしれないな。ちょっと待って。
Here we go.
音っちゃう。あ、よかったよかった。ボリュームってないの？あったあった。どうですか？お客さん。アセットが結構ねいっぱいあるらしいんだよね。けどアセットは自分で作りたいよね、やっぱね。いい感じだね。あ、でもこれチュートリアル動画の方もゲーム開始時やるじゃん。右向いてんじゃん。ゲーム
sound effect stops when yep, and now I'm in two. So perfect. Now I could add a sound effect when you actually complete a stage or add a new song or something like that. For right now, I just made it stop to make it easy. This key is the win script. So I'll tell you what. Let's go to Overworld. Let's copy this screen here.
3ステージ目を作る。
Here. Here. Control C. Control V. Stop it. Control C, Control V, there it is. And in this screen, I just want my character to show up right here. Come in right here, and have to go right here. I don't know, something like that. So I want this to be right here. I want my character to show up again. I'm looking here. X and Y at 8:12. So screen info, he's going to show up. Warp in at 8:12. And this screen is 0, 1, 2. I can see it right there. Screen is 0, 1, 2. I can see it right there. So when I warp out of this screen,
2に戻ってスクリーンインフォで
I'm going to warp to
go up to 2
2 0. Now right now it's going to try to go to the win screen, and the win screen doesn't have anything on it, so it's just going to go to a black screen and be stuck there and be playing a variation of the main theme, which is the intro song. But that's what I expect, so let's check and make sure that that works.
まあこれは多分大丈夫だね。
Not even worried about the
自分でも確かめるか。
Just want to get. Okay, he's stubborn. There we go. So, second screen. Oh no, I died. Wow. Okay. I died on my practice level. Go. And it won't kill you once you've hit that victory level. It's actually creating a different, separate object, believe it or not. So it doesn't interact with the player at all.
怖いちょっとああ。
Win screen.
パッドじゃねえからな。パッドでやりたいね。
And you know what? I forgot to set the music to that third screen.
Oh, so
I'm gonna do that now. Set the music.
パッドでやりてえな。
Main theme.
あ、ちょっとやらしい動きすんな。これ移動が1ドット単位なのがちょっとあれだね。マス目移動だったらドラクエタイプとかのさ、ああいう移動の仕方だったら多分もっとやりやすい気がする。あれ3面繋がんねえじゃん。
Very, very win. And you know what? I forgot to set the music to that third screen. It'll take me to my win screen, and then it'll take me to.
あれなんで繋がってんの？
Wow.
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。あれなんでこっち繋がんねえの？なんか間違えた。
Warp in at 812.
8の11。あ、ここを設定してなかったのか。スクリーン4。で、ワープインが8の11。これもう一回やんなきゃダメか。イケボではないです。イケボではないです。このマス1マスのさ隙間になかなか入りにくいから、もうちょっと移動詰めればもうちょっと遊びやすいゲームになるかもしれない。8の11ってどういうことなんだろう。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、0、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8ってことか。8の0、1、0、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。あ、で、10。あ、上からだもんな。ちょっと待って。363、012、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11？ 12？ あ、12か。12か。だからここに出るのか。
And the screen is 0, 1, 2. I can see it right there. So when I warp out of this,
あれ12だったスクリーン4。
I'm going to warp to 2, 0. Now, right now, it's going to try to go to the win screen, and the win screen doesn't have anything on it, so it's just going to go to a black screen and be stuck there and be playing. Now, the second screen. Oh no, I died. Wow. Okay.
Oh no.
Win, and then it'll take me to with the player at all. It'll take me to my win screen. And then
あ、そうだね。やっぱ1個今12、12。
And you know what? I forgot to set the music to that third screen.
Win。フリーズした。
So I'm gonna do that now. Reset.
鍵取った時の演出作んなきゃダメだよね。 スクリーン4。
メイン
メインテーマ。
Very, very lastly, let's do a start screen and end screens. So I can go to special screens. And because I've imported the tile sets, I already have my graphics.
スタートスクリーンってどれだ？スペシャルスクリーンか。スペシャルスクリーンのスタートスクリーン。タイトルと、これもインポートか。スタートスクリーンからのインポートでいいんだよね。いいんだよね。
My special screen by importing a name table.
あれインポートできないんだけど。あ、こっちか。インポート.num ファイル。
Table. Now I don't have that loaded here, but I did maintain my beta assets, and I have the start screen files. NESmaker start screen. There's my NESmaker name file.
NESmaker ロゴ。あ、どこにある？あ、これか、フロムベータか。フロムベータのスタートスクリーンファイルス。これか。NESmakerスタートスクリーン。これね。あ、ナムファイルか。
In Shiru's NES screen tool. There we go. And now I could change the colors, and honestly, I don't remember what these are supposed to be. So, light gray, maybe that. Yeah, maybe this is light gray. Maybe, sure. This is light gray. Yeah, that looks good. This one I know is bright yellow, and we're always looking for
あ、何ちょっとパレット変えんのかよ。
finding it yellow, remember yellow. There we go. And now I could change the colors, and honestly, I don't remember what these are supposed to be.
ここが10
Be so light gray, maybe that.
あ、
Yeah.
違う。こっちが10。
Maybe this is light gray. Maybe.
ここも10。
Sure, why not? This is light gray. Yeah, that looks
ここも10。
good. This one I know is bright yellow.
ここイエロー。
Always looking for that. Finding. So let's just say that's that. I can write May's game down here, and I want to make sure that I'm playing the intro music right there. Perfect. So now let me go to windscreen, and I have nothing for windscreen. So let me just
今何やった？
put in the windscreen here, and I want to make sure that I'm playing the intro music right there. Perfect. So now let me go to windscreen, and I have nothing for windscreen.
エディットタイル。ウィンドウスクリーンって。
So let me just
今だから何をやった？
intro music right there. Perfect.
あ、ウィンスクリーン
So
か。
now
こ
let
っ
me
ち
go
か。
to windscreen, and I have nothing for windscreen. So let me just put in
ここが白。20、30。
And I believe I already have a control.
あ、そういうこと。自分で置いてけって。
So if I press the start screen on the windscreen, it should go back. Let's check that real quick. So if I go to input editor, if I look, if I'm in the windscreen and I press the start button, it's a simple reset. And if I'm on the start screen and I press start, it starts the game. So now the only thing I have to do is turn on my start screen. So I'm going to go to game information, project information I should say, and instead of
真ん中ってどこだ？この辺か。これまずここ要は置きたいところにマスを置いて、でここからあれか好きなのをセッティングするわけか。じゃあここについでにハートマーク入れとくか。
skipping start screen, I'm going to not turn on my start to input editor. If I look, if I'm in the start, if I'm in the win screen and I press the start button, it goes, it's a simple reset. And if I'm on the start screen and I press start, it starts the game. So now the only thing I have to do is turn on my start screen. So I'm going to go to game information, project info.
Game project info.
Information, I should say. And instead of skipping start screen,
skip start screen.
I'm going to not skip.
The
start screen. So now, play my game.
Now try again. ってなると、おお。イントロが出て始まると。何かキーを押せば、あ、キーじゃない、スタートボタンを押せばいいのか。うわ、本当だ、いい、ああ、本当だ、スタートに設定したキーを押したら始まった。うわー、すごいな。やべえ、ちょっとこれはかなり楽じゃないか。
今回のが一番可能性を感じますね。
可能性感じるね。あ。でもタイトル画面
ジャーバス移植か胸熱。
ジャーバスはスクールでやった方がいいんじゃないかな。これ死んだ時にタイトルじゃなくてリスタートはこの後やるのかな。くそ。こっち来んな、こっち来んな、こっち来んな、お前。
前にタクメダルに特殊効果乗せたいのに諦めたとかそういうのが少なそう。
そうそうそう。ウィン出た。あ、スタート押すとまた戻っちゃうんだ。でも上になんかゴミでしたな、今。
And now I could make levels until my heart's content and have a really decent clone of that game in the arcades that had the little yellow guy that ate pellets and chased ghosts. You know who I'm talking about, right?
あ、なんでここにダブルが入ってんの？
Win screen.
Win. なんかこれさ、このずれてるのはまあ適当だからいいと思うんだけど、ゴーストバスターズのリリーを思い起こすよね、これね。あれもリリーっていうのは画面真ん中じゃなくてちょっとずれた位置に出るよね、確かね、リリーってね。
Start, it'll restart the game. Bam. So in about 20 minutes we were able to construct that whole game without even coming close to looking at a single piece of code, and had a lot of versatility as far as what I could even do within that. Now, in the intermediate tutorials, we're going to look at exactly how we constructed all of this from the base engine and then exported it to get what you see in front of you right now. But this has been the first tutorial in the series of how to use 4.1.0 and actually start creating right away. So we hope you guys like this easy mode tutorial. We hope you plow through the easy mode tutorials, make a bunch of fun stuff, and then start on the intermediate tutorials to start seeing your game come to life.
あ、終わった。2時間20 minute プロジェクトを入れる。作曲はどうやるんだろう。作曲つかなんかさっきテキスト開いてみたけど、あれ ファミトラッカー準拠っぽいんだよな。
音楽も作れるんだ。
音楽も多分作れるはずのかな。いや、わかんない。あ、でもインポートファミトラッカーってあるから、ファミトラッカーないとダメかもね。ノードコンバーテッドファミトラッカーアスムだから、曲はファミトラッカーで作れって感じかな。感じなのかな。ファミトラッカー使ったことないんだけど。
今回使用したのはサンプルっすか？
そう、サンプル。ザップ。お、かっこいい。スラッシュ。アセットが他にもあとまだあるんだよね。アセットが
ワークマンっぽい。
ワークマンっぽいかっこよかった。チュートリアルアセットがアドベンチャーゲーム、メイズゲーム今作ったやつなんだけど、であとスクローリングプラットフォーム、シンプルプラットフォーム、シンプルシューティングプラットフォーム、あとチュートリアルミュージック。ファミトラッカーってどうなんだろうね。ボタンさんはそれ使ってるみたいだけど僕はあれなんだよな。MCK なんだけど、ファミトラッカー使ったことないからな。これを機にファミトラッカーの使い方も覚えるか。じゃあ時間的にもちょうどよかったね。チュートリアルで作ったゲームがこれね。でフラッシャーにこれ焼けるかどうかだよね。これファミコンゲームだから。でフラッシュカートリーに焼いて実機で遊べるっていうね。遊ぶこと可能。すごい夢があるよね。レトロゲーマーとしては。ゆっくりだから。でウィン。
やべえっすなこれ。使いこなせたら思いのままのゲームだ。
思いのまま。
夢広がりまくりんぐ。
広がりまくりだね。でちょっと保存して保存どこでしようかな。ウォークでいいか。エミュレーターウォークで保存して、でこれをカートに今ちょっと入れてみよう。ドスプロントとはちょっと映せないけど、イレーシングマッパー30、イレーシングプログラムロムって書いてあるの。ちょっと待って、さっきのフラッシュカートリッジのもう一回見たい。
終了まであと5分になりました。
Okay, so now we've got something we're really proud of and we're really excited to share with the world. So this last tutorial here, we're going to look at how to get it onto the cartridge, which is really the point. So if you're watching this, you've probably gotten or know where to get a Kazo flasher with like what's inside this case right here, a 72-pin connector. On over here by the computer real quick, I'll show you where the drivers are. Inside your NESmaker folder, you're going to see a folder called Flasher. You see that? Okay, we're going to double click on that and you're going to see the Kazo Flasher driver package. And here are your drivers that you are going to install for the Flasher. Easy. Once the drivers are installed, I'm going to step out. We are in the program. I'm going to make some changes to this so you can see it in real time. Actually, let me make it say, let's do something clever. Let's have it say, and...
そこはいいね、そこは焼いてるところを。
On the flasher. Now these are MAPR 30 cartridges. If you just grabbed any old cartridge, it's not going to work. Make sure you're getting a MAPR 30 cartridge from even NES Lives. It's meant to work with NESmaker. And then I'm going to press this button right here.
これで焼けてんのかな?
Plug it in my USB, plug it in the computer, and I'm going to press the Make Cart button. And what it's going to do is first it's going to look exactly like it does when it runs in the emulator. That's compiling it, that's assembling it. Press any key, and you should start to see it say setting operation.
なんて書いてある?
Start flash. If you see that and you're getting the
ああ、ちゃんと出るんだ。
終了まであと3分になりました。
今書き込んでる最中なのかな。アクセスランプとかないからわかんねえんだよな。これってフリーズしてんのかね。あと3分だけど。ちょっと待って、もう一回。焼けてんのこれ。ロムイレースにこんなに時間かからないよね。逆差ししちゃってるもしかして。
終了まであと1分になりました。
抜けない抜けない。逆だと刺さんないんだよ。あ、刺さった。
深まる謎
謎打ちです。あ、いったいったいった。逆だった。
おつす。
お疲れ様です。で、ついたわ。なんでこれ逆じゃん。お疲れ様でした。
わらわら。
カートリッジ逆に刺さってた。危ねえ危ねえ。
お
疲れ様です。多分焼けてるはず。
オッケー。
オッケー。